Okay, so just to orient everyone, this is Algebra 1, Semester 2, and this is the second unit, 2 variable data. This is the first lesson of it, Measures of Central Tendency and Variation Practice. This is under the Algebra tab on creatormath.com. Go down and find this unit, 2 variable data, the second unit for Semester 2. Copy the following problems into your composition book and on the correct pages according to the table of contents with the notes for those pages from creatormath.com. So I'm not going to explain all of it because there's a lot on the notes. This is just the problems we have to go over. And just to give you a background on statistics inside of Algebra 1 class, this is sort of statistics light. It's kind of, if you've had a good statistics class before, you're going to know all of this stuff and maybe a lot more. So it's not meant to overwhelm you, but just to remind you of a lot of the concepts of statistics. So there's 3 measures of central tendency, we call them. And they are the mean, median, and mode. And just to remind you of what these things are, mean is the average, right? Average is if you have 5 numbers, you add them up and divide by the number of numbers, which is 5 in that case, in that example, and it will give you the average or mean of the numbers. And they call that central tendency because you're trying to find out where these numbers are centered, where the weight of the numbers is falling. The next one is median. Median is the number in the middle of a data set. So if we take all the numbers and line them up in order, there'll be a number in the middle, and that would be our median. If there's 2 numbers in the middle, then we take an average of those 2 middle numbers. Then we have the mode. Mode is the number that repeats the most often in a data set. There's a couple examples on down. So the number that repeats most often in a data set is mode. So just to remind you of words you probably have already learned and heard kind of your whole math life now is mean, median, and mode. And those are 3 measures of central tendency. All right, let's do number 4. Number 4 says, given the data set 60, 65, 65, 78, 60, 79, 62, what is the highest value? Okay, and I know that's a shocking question, but we're trying to find the highest value, 78, 79, highest value 79. We're going to find the range here in a second, so we need to know the highest, and I bet they're going to ask us what's the lowest value given the data set, 60, 65, 65, 78, 60, 79, 62. It looks like 60 is your lowest value. So if we were calculating a range on this, and I think we do on one of the following problems, so let me just wait for that. So this says put the data set in order, right? When you put something in order, you just find the smallest number first, 46, and you just start to relist it. Get rid of 46. What's your next one in line? 52 and 52. There's 2 52s, so 52, 52. Get rid of those. What's your next in line? Let's see, 57, 59. 57, 59, 62, 64. 62, 64. We're just putting them in order from lowest to highest. Circle the one that's in order. What is the median of the data set? So median is, right, go back to our definitions for median. Median is number in the middle of the data set. So now that we have the data set lined up, which they've been kind of kind to us. I don't know if you noticed, they use the same data set here. So if we've already lined them up in order, because that's what you have to do to find the median, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's nice that it's odd because now it's the center number. There's 3 on this side, 3 on this side. So the median is 57. If for some reason you have an even number of data points and it's 2 in the middle, then you just take the average of those 2. That always caught me off guard when I was a student. I was like, what if there's 2 in the middle? There is no single middle, right? Then take the average of the 2. Given the data set, what's the mean? The mean is the average, so you're adding these up and dividing by the number they've given us, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's a 10 and a 17, 10 and 7 is 17, plus 5 is 22, plus 2 is 24, so I have 24 divided by 4 data points equals 6. The mean is the average, 6 in this case, and I appreciate them giving us easy numbers. I don't need a calculator or anything. Given the data set, boom, what's the mode? So they've also been kind enough to go ahead and line these up, but it wouldn't matter The mode is the number that repeats the most time in the data set. Well, look, there's 3 5s. There's 2 1s. Whoops. There's 3 5s. So it's going to be 5. And they lined it up for us so they made it easy. If you had a whole bunch of data and you had to sort through the whole thing and count how many of each, that can get annoying. So this is done just to help us reinforce the definitions, not really to make us statisticians. Given the data set 60, 65, 65, 78, 67, what is the range? So this happens to be the same data set they gave us back here, right? They ask us for the low and the high. The range is from 60 to 79 or 19. That's the difference. Difference means to subtract. Take the highest number minus the lowest number, and you get the range. And that's it for this first lesson in the 2 variable data unit in the second semester of Algebra 1. Right? Find it on deltamath.com under the Algebra tab.